Wow. So Manappuram Finance, they had quite the roller coaster ride recently, huh? I mean, a 15% stock crash, that's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, it was a rough patch actually. It all started when the Reserve Bank of India, or RGI, took action against their subsidiary Asirvad Microfinance.
Right. I remember reading something about that. What exactly did the RBI do?
Well, they basically told Asirvad to stop giving out any new loans effective October 21st due to what they called material supervisory concerns.
So, like a complete halt? That sounds serious.
Exactly. And these concerns apparently were about the pricing policies of these non-banking financial companies, or NBFCs, not being in line with regulations.
Okay. So Asirvad, it's their micro lending arm, right? That's a significant part of their business, I guess.
Yes, it is. It contributed a hefty 27% to Manappuram's total revenue in FY24. So, a halt like that is going to have a big impact.
Okay, I see why the stock crashed so hard. So, what were the immediate consequences besides the stock price plummeting?
Well, quite a few brokerages downgraded Manappuram Finance, like Jeffries actually. They changed their rating to hold, which isn't great.
Yeah, definitely not. It's like when you see analysts changing their ratings, it sends a pretty bad signal to investors.
Exactly. Jeffries even mentioned that Asirvad might need to raise capital and that the parent company Manappuram might have to inject some funds.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a really tough spot for them to be in.
It was. On the flip side, though, Bank of America maintained their buy call, but they reduced their target price. It's like they're saying, we still believe in the long run, but expect some bumps along the way.
Right, like a cautious optimism. So they're essentially hedging their bets while still showing some confidence.
Precisely. And they did cut their earnings forecast for Manappuram by a few percent, factoring in the slower growth of Asirvad.
So everyone's essentially saying the RBI action would definitely hit their profits in the near term, right?
Yeah. And Morgan Stanley also downgraded the stock to Ecowake and slashed earnings forecasts quite significantly, like by 30% for the next couple of years.
30%. Wow. That's a serious revision.
It is. And they also highlighted that the company may face slower loan growth, tighter credit rules, and, well, the need for higher provisions.
Right, which makes sense given the regulatory scrutiny. It's like they're having to tighten their belts after the RBI's action.
Precisely. And then there's JP Morgan. They also downgraded Manappuram's bonds, mainly because of the impact on their funding access and borrowing costs.
So it seems like the RBI action had a ripple effect across multiple parts of their business and financials.
Definitely. And it's like it all comes down to the fact that RBI found issues with their operations, leading to the halt of loan dispersals and subsequent downgrades.
Right. The core issue seems to be the RBI's supervisory concerns. So what exactly is supervisory concerns? Is it a specific term?
Well, in this context, it refers to RBI's concerns about how these NBFCs were conducting business, especially related to their pricing policies and compliance with regulations.
So it's about fair practices, I guess, and following the rules. Did Asirvad react to these concerns at all?
Yes, Asirvad acknowledged the RBI's feedback and mentioned they would take immediate action. The company did say they're taking the suggestions for improvement seriously.
That's good. I suppose, at least they're showing they're taking the matter seriously. So what are the key takeaways from all of this?
Well, firstly, regulatory actions can have an immediate and significant impact on stock prices and the overall market perception of a company.
Right. Like the market reacted immediately with the huge stock price drop.
Yeah. And secondly, the interconnectedness of a company's subsidiaries with its overall financial health is clear. Asirvad's issue heavily impacted Manappuram's stock.
Definitely. It's like if one part of the machine breaks, it affects the whole thing.
Exactly. And thirdly, the importance of regulatory compliance for financial companies. It's not just about making profit, but also following the rules.
For sure. It's like building a house. You can't cut corners on the foundation. What's interesting is that this isn't the first time Manappuram has faced RBI scrutiny.
Right. Actually, earlier in May, the RBI had sent them an advisory letter about cash disbursal limits, asking them to adhere to income tax regulations.
Oh, so there had been some earlier concerns. That's pretty interesting. It kind of paints a bigger picture here.
It does. And in September, the RBI directed gold financiers to review their processes and address any lapses. which affected their overall growth.
So it's like they were already on the RBI's radar.
Exactly, which makes sense why the recent action had such a strong reaction from the market.
So after all that, did Manappuram get the green light to disburse loans again?
Yes, that's the surprising and good part, actually. On January 8th, 2025, the RBI lifted the restrictions on Asirvad with immediate effect.
Oh, that's a complete turnaround. So the crisis is averted for now.
Yes, it seems they've managed to satisfy the RBI's concerns for now, but it does raise a big question about future growth and investor confidence.
So it's a happy ending for now, but with a big question mark hanging over how they will manage operations and ensure compliance in the future.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that the financial markets and regulations, well, they can shift really quickly.
Definitely. So it looks like a win for now, but they'll definitely need to keep their guard up. It begs the question, what will the next challenge be for Manappuram?